Hey guys, it's Wes, and on today's video, I'm going to take you along with me to visit one of my favorite spots in Northern Ireland, the Giant's Causeway. The 40,000 basalt columns that make up this epic spot were formed 60 million years ago and got their name from ancient Irish folklore. Be sure to stick around until the end of this video because I'm going to show you how to reach an epic viewpoint that most travelers aren't even aware of. Located along the northernmost coast of Northern Ireland, the Giant's Causeway resides along the Causeway coastal route in County Antrim and is about 3 miles or 5 kilometers from the town of Bushmills. If you're visiting from Belfast, you'll be looking at about a 1-hour drive, while travelers heading here from Dublin will have a longer 3-hour drive to reach the Causeway. Regardless of which city you're traveling from, consider making a quick pit stop at the Dark Hedges on your way up. I wouldn't consider this a can't-miss stop, but if you've got some time to kill and you happen to be a Game of Thrones fan, it's worth making the quick pit stop to get out and stretch your legs. It's a really scenic walk and was one of the filming locations for the popular HBO series. While you can visit the Giant's Causeway as a day trip from either major city, consider spending some time in nearby towns of Bushmills or Port Stewart. I'll leave some links to hotels in the area in the description for you to check out. And while you can visit the Giant's Causeway with larger tour groups, I'd suggest renting your own car and visiting here in the evening around sunset. Views of the Atlantic Ocean from here during sunset are epic, and most tour companies will depart the area before this time of day. This also means that you'll have a much quieter experience, as the hordes of tourists who arrive by bus will have already cleared out for the day. The one trade-off is that the visitor center will close in the early afternoon, but I think it's worth it to have a better experience out on the causeway itself. I'd only consider visiting early in the day if you wanted to take a guided tour through the area, which would include a guide and a history lesson. Also keep in mind that if the visitor center is closed, the bathrooms will be as well. I'd suggest parking near the Causeway Hotel. This will give you access to the hiking trails that overlook the rock formations. While you will pay a small parking fee here, there isn't a fee to access the causeway itself. Most visitors will skip these and head straight down for the water, but I'd suggest budgeting an extra hour or so to explore these trails. The trails overlooking the Giant's Causeway provide insane views of the Irish coastline. Specifically, head out on the Red Trail, which will lead you high above the rock formations below. The views here during sunset are some of my favorites throughout all of Ireland. Once you've had your fill of cliff views, you can find a trail that shoots directly down to the rock formations. Usually by this time the crowds have thinned out and you won't encounter more than a couple dozen people in the area. Watch your step and head out onto the rocks out toward the ocean. After experiencing this place for myself, I can see how past cultures told stories of the fabled giant Finn McCool using these volcanic steps to reach Scotland, and where he challenged the giant known as Benandonner. From start to finish, I spent a little over 2 hours in the area, hiking around the different viewpoints and spending some time down by the rocks. If you're looking for other activities to round out your visit to the area, be sure to check out the Carrick-a-Rede rope bridge. This is another National Trust site that offers visitors the opportunity to cross a rope bridge that's suspended high above the ocean to access a small island just off the coast. It's a great activity to do earlier in the day before heading over to the Giant's Causeway, and another great activity in the area is to visit the historic Dunluce Castle, which sits perched atop some of the sea cliffs in the area. The castle sits on private land and usually closes by around 5 p.m., so be sure to check out their operating hours before visiting. The Giant's Causeway guide that I published on my blog goes into a lot more detail on things that we didn't have time to cover in this video. That's a great trip planning resource if you're interested in visiting the Emerald Isle for yourself. Thanks for joining me on today's adventure, and don't forget to check out my other Ireland guides for more travel planning resources to make your trip to Ireland truly unforgettable. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to Travel with Wes for more exciting travel inspiration just like this. Until next time, safe travels and thanks for watching.